We want to talk with you about the books that feed your imagination and the vices that spark your soul.
We drink, we curse, we read things. Come sit by us. Expect no judgment, just good times.
Welcome to Paper and Vices. Books reviewed, vices indulged.
Mature content warning. I am Lee Vices.
And I am Victoria Papers, who's checking to see if she turned her damn phone off for recording. Nope.
That reminds me, I should check too.
Mm-hmm.
One day it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
We take this very seriously. It's just that we have kids, so this does not happen until after 9:45 p.m. It doesn't matter. That's when it happens.
It's good times. It's a good way to end the day. I was talking to Victoria earlier. I had this very strict deadline set for myself, and I was like, I'm ignoring everything else. Like I had a long to-do list, and I just pushed a bunch of shit off for tomorrow, or not tomorrow, like next week. I was like, that's not pressing. And so like I got to cross it off my list, and how I do it is I'll cross it off my list and then draw like a little arrow so that I know it's completed in my mind, but it's forwarded to the next week. That's how that shit works.
Fair.
Yeah. So it makes me feel like I got my to-do list completed, even though in reality I just got one major task done. But
shit,
it's all
I have
about...
not checked my to-do list since 10 o'clock.
That's awesome. That's really good.
I did that. I'm doing that. I didn't do the dishes. That's what didn't get done. Everybody be shocked. I have this amazing notepad that Lee got me for Christmas, and it's shaped like a to-go coffee cup, and it says a latte to do. And it's big, and the sheets are so sticky on the back, they'll stay wherever you put them. It's wonderful. And because it says a latte to do, I don't use them for anything other than my to-do list, which is great.
It's focused, and it's cool.
So I took my kid to Target last week because she was losing her ever-loving mind. And I've had my first COVID vaccine, so I'm not, totally protected, but I'm protected enough to go to Target for 45 minutes in the middle of the day on a Monday. And she hasn't been in Target since Christmas. We took her once to pick out her ornament for this year, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we walk past the office supply aisle, and she's like, Mommy, do you need to go look at the stuff for you? That's Mommy stuff.
Aww.
I'm like, oh. Yeah, let's go get pens. That's a great idea. I don't need pens, but pens. Yeah. Yeah, I was flattered. I expected there to be a lot more on clearance than there was, but I guess not the entire universe has been quarantining as hard as I have. So, I mean, it's later in 2021, but our family is high risk. So, like, if we get Rona, we're screwed. And we're currently between our two vaccines, and I don't care if you want to get the vaccine or not. Like, I'm not judging you. This isn't political. This is what my family is choosing to do. You do you. When the 5G chip kicks in, I can order pizza by blinking rapidly, so. There's pros and cons. And so I'm just having, in general, this weird experience of like, oh, right, the rest of the world just decided, like, last July that the pandemic was over because it was hard. And they've been out here doing things and eating in restaurants. Yeah. Or like you, they got the Rona, so they don't need to sequester anymore. I feel like there's this Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone movie with Christopher Walken called Blast from the Past.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
I love that movie.
It's so fucking good.
We should get drunk and make the Valkyrie watch that movie with us when we go away again.
Oh God. No, she's going to need more than alcohol for that one, but yes, it should
Well,
happen.
I mean, herbal supplements.
Yes.
And chocolate. That's fine. Young Brendan Fraser. God, it's such a good movie. And that's kind of what I feel like. I'm like, oh, we're just sneaking out of our little hole and, people are out here doing things. Well, yeah. That's like the third random person that's mentioned that movie in the last month. We have to find it and watch it with the Valkyrie.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere on some random streaming service like Vudu or some shit.
Because the last movie I shared with you when we were in person, because last time we saw each other, we did a lot of True Blood. was Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Which one was that one again?
That was the one about the beauty pageant in Minnesota.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. That's such a good movie.
Yeah. I don't know that we finished it. I think I fell
I
asleep.
don't think we did, but I mean, the ending isn't important. The hilarious bullshit on the way is what's important.
Yeah.
Like, the ending's good, but it's like the joy of the journey culminates in the pageant itself, with Kirstie Alley talking about her fucking culottes. Pattern. Sorry. No, I'm not. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a wine. I think it's a cab. Surprise. I think it's called H3. The 3 H's stand for something, but I can't remember them right now. But so I don't know if you have a Winn-Dixie near you. For those of you who don't know what a Winn-Dixie is, it's a grocery store. But if you have a Winn-Dixie near you, you should check them out for their wine selection because they have mad killer discounts. So, like, it's originally...
Piggly Wigglies. Like, you're in the dirty South. I'm in the South.
Yeah. Like, it'd be interesting to see, like, I don't know, like, just random places you can find good discounts. And, because, like, the bottle of wine that I have, I got it for $12 and it's originally $20. Nice. I was like, oh, I'm getting the fancy wine tonight. So,
hell yeah, fancy wine.
Yay. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Sam Adams Cold Snap White Ale with spices.
Ooh.
Sam Adams has become, especially any of their special editions throughout fall and winter, like Sam Adams Winter Ale, I think is another one it's called. Like, it's a really good go-to to just get, like, a case of beer that my husband and I will both drink while I'm at Target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having one of those. It's nice. It's happy. America or something. It's beer. Yay, beer. Hooray, beer. Wait, that's Red Stripe. That was a couple episodes ago. Anyway.
Yay, beer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I may have also had, like, entirely too much coffee today.
Yeah, I've had lots of coffee today, too. It's good, though, because, like, usually I'm, like, starting to fade. Like, when we record, I'm, like, wide awake right now. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Woohoo. So, anyway, what are you reading?
I am reading Evermore Academy by Audrey Grey. I really like Audrey Grey as an author. I strongly avoid Academy YA romance novels. A lot of them get into really, like, iffy territory with, like, ages and consent and hooking up, and, like, it's just not my thing. It's not written for me. We've talked about this. I'm 35. Like, I don't need high school drama. I would prefer not to have it. But Audrey Grey also does the Kingdom of Runes series, which I really, really like. And she's done one other series that I can't remember the name of, but I can picture the covers in my head. Sorry, Miss Grey. Mrs. Grey. She did this one, and one of the reviews was like, this is not like other Academy novels. So I was like, all right. I think Evermore Academy is one of the first ones she did. It's a 3-part series. It's not as good as other stuff of hers I've read, but it's not terrible. I'll finish it. It's like a 3. Like, it's well thought out. It's well planned out. I think my dislike of it is just because it's very YA, and I'm old, and that's not a fault of the author in any way. That's not a failing with the story in any way. It's well written. There are good plot lines. It's a fault of me being an old curmudgeon.
I fucking love that word, curmudgeon.
Oh, yeah, I own it. Have we told the Baba Yaga story yet? Because Baba Yaga goals, y'all. I want a chicken house. We were having a conversation, because Lee and the Valkyrie and I have had a group conversation for like 3 years now.
Yeah, about that.
And it started as trip planning, and it's just maintained our sanity for the last 3 years. And we were talking about growing older, and Lee goes, we're only as old as we feel. We're young and hip. And I go, speak for yourself. I am Baba Yaga inside. I want a chicken house. Total Baba Yaga energy. I have embraced it. Give me my beer and go away.
It's so good. I remember I was cleaning the kitchen when I was reading that thread, and I just had to stop reading, like, cleaning the kitchen. I was like, I'm done. I'm just laughing too much. I'm done.
Yeah.
I started reading Dracula
Hell yeah.
by like the original.
Sorry for yelling. Bram Stoker.
Yeah, Bram Stoker, yeah. It's pretty cool. I just started it. It's on my Kindle app on my phone, so it's good for like when I can't listen to an audiobook or don't want to bring down my huge chunk of a book, because I'm also still reading the Cassandra Clare book. You tend to read, or I tend to read slower when I'm reading like 3 different things at once. So
Yeah, because you're reading 3 different things at once. Yeah.
exactly. But like I have a book or a story for each situation. So I like so far that it's written as like a diary or a journal, I should say.
Hmm.
And I already love, like, I don't know, there's something about like classic literature, just about the language that's used and the vocabulary. So it's pretty cool so far. I'm happy.
It's one of my favorite books. I haven't read it in almost a decade. I was sorely tempted to read it again. Maybe I will. I have 4 copies of it,
Ooh.
but they're all physical and heavy. So
Yeah.
maybe I should get a Kindle version. It's good. And it gets to that part. I like how people like to, especially people who do not like sex scenes in books, assume that there's no sex in classic literature. And I'm like, look, just because it doesn't say he wet his throbbing member betwixt her folds doesn't mean there's no sex. You just have to understand the context of what you're reading. It'll be interesting to see what you think at the end. Yeah.
I didn't know there was sex involved. I am very excited.
You know, there's lots of ways to interpret it, but I mean,
yeah.
Dracula's in your room. I'm not saying I've ever seen an ugly Dracula. Just saying.
I've decided I need to read Anne Rice, which I know I swear we've had this conversation before, but I'm like, I love vampire lore, and it's a disservice to myself to not read the original
either. This is why we've had this conversation, because I love vampire lore and haven't read Anne Rice, and it feels almost sacrilegious to be like, hell yeah, Twilight, hell yeah, Dracula, and have not read Anne Rice. On the other hand, I saw the movie, and I'm worried that if I read the book, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, you're such a little bitch! Like, you're an immortal little bitch, but you're such a little bitch!
You're gonna be picturing like Brad Pitt's like pouty face through the whole book.
No, not Brad Pitt. Tom Cruise.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I guess they were both pouty little bitches.
Yeah. Become immortal. Be a pouty little bitch forever. I can't. Like, I already know my favorite character dies. It like dies. So, because I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie?
Parts of it. I watched it so many times, but I can't remember like some of the details. I'm
We
gonna
should
need
do
to
that
watch
at
it.
some point.
Yes. Yeah, I used to watch that one and Dirty Dancing a lot. Those were like my
I've never
summer
seen Dirty
movies.
Dancing.
Oh.
Irony because of the way I was raised. I know.
Oh.
I've been told more than once.
We need to watch that.
All right, guess we have plans for our next girls outing.
We have plans.
Substances and film. That could be a whole festival in Colorado. Substances and film.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm down.
Down. What are your vices?
I am on a cheese kick, sadly, for my body, but like the whipped cream cheese with like Ritz crackers and like Munster slices, and then like for some reason Laughing Cow cheese ended up in our house. I don't know how. And like it's like the the little round wheel with the
Yeah, I know exactly what it is, but I'm like, I only eat that when I'm doing keto.
Yeah, it's good though. I don't know. It's
It
just
is, but otherwise I eat all of it.
Well, I mean, it's gone, and I just opened it like on Monday, so I've been eating it. But yeah, that, and I just brought home a bag of those stupid chocolate covered pretzels. What is it, Flips or whatever?
Hell yeah.
Things are fucking evil. I will eat an entire bag in a sitting.
Trader
awful.
Joe's chocolate and toffee covered pretzels, and I don't know if they have them
Ooh.
year round or if it's one of the Christmas things. Like the Star shortbread covered in dark chocolate is a Christmas thing, and that's like my husband's jam. Can't really have the toffee chocolate covered pretzels in the house because my brain is like, there's no other food in the house except coffee and chocolate and toffee covered pretzels from Trader Joe's. I seek no other sustenance, nothing else shall satisfy. Gimme. I have totally healthy boundaries with food. What are you talking about? Man, now I want to make a charcuterie board with just little wedges of cheese so everybody can just be like, this is my cheese.
Hmm?
I think this is totally off topic. I think because Christmas wasn't bad this year, but we didn't see anybody. We didn't do anything. Like, we don't really go see family anyway. Our Christmas is super duper low key. But like, we usually have people over and we either watch Die Hard or the Star Wars Holiday Special. And a couple years ago, I reached charcuterie over cookies years old. And so, I mean, there are cookies, but I put my efforts towards making a pretty charcuterie board instead of making the cookies.
Yeah.
And that just didn't happen last year for all of the reasons, most of them being a global pandemic. And I want to do Christmas in July this year. I think I want to just like have people over and either watch terrible Christmas movies with riff tracks or watch some of the new Star Wars stuff and then end with Star Wars Holiday Special, because you have to be such a deep fucking Star Wars nerd to enjoy the Star Wars Holiday Special, even with riff tracks. Like, we talked about this in our Christmas episode. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to it. But like, crank down the AC so everybody's comfortable in sweats, put out all my extra blankets, get a charcuterie board, get some sugar cookie dough and the Christmas cookie cutters out, and just be like, we're doing it because I want to. That's a reason. Like, I want to see all your faces. I want to feed all your faces. Good times. Because Friendsgiving is so far away.
It is.
So far away. I don't remember why I got on that tangent. Oh, right. Food.
Cheese.
God, I love food.
Cheese. Food is amazing. What's your vice this week?
I rediscovered Pinterest. Like, we post on our Paper and Vices Pinterest, and every once in a while one of us will go through and just blast a bunch of cool stuff. But like, whenever we do an Instagram post or we put out a new episode, it automatically goes to Pinterest. But like, my personal one, we are considering and decided on nothing, purchasing a house within the next 12 months, which I feel like this is the final boss of adulthood. And then like, retirement is the DLC that comes out 3 years later that they do, you know, no maintenance for. Like, we've gotten married, check. Established careers, check and sort of check. Have child, check. Done having the child. Hell yeah, check, snip, check. Owning land. Okay. I mean, you know, I don't mean like owning 50 acres. I mean just like owning land and a home that goes on top of it. So, like any sane person who is considering their budget and their retirement account and interest rates and PMI and all this shit, I'm at Pinterest looking at front door colors and copper drawer knobs.
That's amazing. Pinterest, it's such like a dangerous hole to go down.
It is. So the other day, I was up late working on that project that you and I are doing. And I decided to wind my brain down, because if I don't stop, my brain will keep going with that project for all night.
Yep.
By going on Pinterest for a few minutes. And then the next thing I know, it was 2:30 in the morning, and I was reading a recipe for gluten-free strawberry rhubarb biscuits. And I'm just like, maybe this is when we're done. I mean, I love strawberries, and I love biscuits, and I have a very good friend who's gluten-free, but this may be a bedtime sign.
Rhubarb is a bitch to work with, too, from what I've heard.
It is. It's like celery's less nasty cousin. It's just all stringy and strange, but it looks good, and it tastes good, so you put up with it.
This is true. But not at 2 in the morning.
No, I don't even have rhubarb in my house. I have strawberries. I always have strawberries. And if I
Yeah.
don't, I could go on the back porch and pick more strawberries. But like, I don't, it's not a thing I keep in the house. It's not a thing I've ever baked with. But I was like, oh, this looks good. And I got there because I was looking at curly hair shit. And the person who runs
What?
the blog, yeah, the person that runs the blog that has the strawberry rhubarb gluten-free biscuits on it also had a thing about hair and why she doesn't do the complete curly girl method all the time. And so I was reading that and then biscuits. And then it was 2 a.m. and I was like, I'm gonna go do the big nap thing. Because 6-hour nap sounds better than a 2-hour nap.
Oh man. I think, speaking of houses and like Pinterest, I think I have like, well, I have definitely like a home decor thing, but I've got enough styles for like 8 different houses. And so when we were thinking about moving, I was going through them and my husband was like, no, pick one. Pick one theme and we'll run with it. But we can't fit all of these themes into one house. And I'm like, but can't we?
Mine is pretty thematically matched. If vintage industrial goth plant lady is a theme,
Totally should be. You should make it that way. I see no problem here.
vintage in next month's home decor, vintage industrial goth plant lady. Just a picture of me in a big hat holding a ficus. I like plants. It's fine.
We are talking about makeup.
Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah, but not just any makeup. Special makeup made from unicorn blood.
Wow, like
I've reached the part where I'm just talking out my ass.
no, I was gonna say, put the eyeliner on, and from that moment she had life immortal, but it was a half-life, a cursed life. Hashtag Harry Potter quotes. The wine may have hit you, my friend.
It did. It just went like, hey.
Hey, I love you, smoosh.
I'm a $12 bottle of wine, not a 2.
So we're talking about indie beauty, and basically, by its roughest definition, indie beauty is a brand business that is independently owned and does not receive any corporately backed funding. So like L'Oreal, Lancome, and Urban Decay are all under L'Oreal Lancome. I don't remember which one it is, but like they're this huge conglomerate of makeup. Most major makeup brands are huge conglomerates of makeup, and in the last 10 years, but really, really the last 3 or 4 years, all that's been changing. People are getting more access to these labs, which used to be like super duper high buy-ins and difficult to get to and stuff. And now if you've got like 10 grand, you can call up a lab and be like, oh, I want to start a makeup line. What samples do you have? And they'll be like, oh, here's what we got. And if you follow any of the beauty trash on YouTube, which I do, you'll know that Jaclyn Hill, when she launched her brand, which is doing fine now, like there's nothing icky. She's doing really well. There was this whole thing with her lipsticks and her lab because they had hair and bubbles and the ingredients weren't mixed right.
Uh-oh.
It's a whole rabbit hole I can throw you down if you want to. But like basically, we already knew from They Who Shall Not Be Named doing a documentary basically how all this crap worked behind the scenes. And whatever you think about those people in that documentary, it did show you in great detail what goes on behind the scenes of an independent brand working with the lab, what ingredients and vibe they're bringing to the table, packaging, timelines, all that crap. And it's far more accessible for just an average everyday person to get some money together and start a makeup brand than it's ever been. And that's really cool. The bar of entry is lower for pretty much everything. If you're a writer, if you're a filmmaker, if you make music, I mean, how much did music change with iTunes and GarageBand and streaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to talk about some of our favorite indie makeup brands because there's a million of them and some of them are really big. Like technically, I believe NYX would qualify as indie. Not entirely sure. But like everyone knows who NYX is. NYX is everywhere. Makeup Geek is starting to be everywhere, which is amazing because I really like that brand. So, we're just going to talk about a couple of our favorites because we believe in supporting smaller businesses.
Yes.
And however you feel about capitalism in a consumer society, arguably the loudest vote you ever have is with your dollar. So, there you go.
There's a company that both of us have used called ColourPop. That's probably my favorite. Is it one of your favorites?
It is one of my favorites. I like their price point.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they don't I like their price point. I like that they don't have a bunch of mineral oil and everything. Some of their stuff might have mineral oil, but not a lot. I can use their eyeshadows and not worry I'm gonna wake up with my eyes puffy and painful. And I like that it's all made in California, like at their factory. So, I spend $50 at ColourPop. That's $50 that's employing someone in the US. That's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
And not that there's anything wrong with makeup that is made overseas, and some of their eyeliners and stuff might be made overseas. I'm not sure, but like it's nice to know I'm getting a good product at a fair price that is employing someone in my own country. It's just kind of a lot of win. And I like that they put out. So we've talked about in one of our earlier episodes, Makeup and Demonology, how it seems like people are putting out a palette every 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Which gets a little bit insane, especially when it's like Anastasia Beverly Hills price point. Like, putting out a $50 palette every other month just gets to be a bit much. They have like 1 or 2 new launches every month, and if I buy a $14 palette every 2 or 3 months, that's not going to break my bank.
Right.
At all. And they have these Super Shock Cream Jelly shadows I love. I like, in general, their eyeshadow formula. It's pretty true to color. I've never had real fallout issues with them. I like their products, and their price point is amazing, and they do such cute shit.
They do. They have to have some kind of partnership with Disney, because
Yes.
they do a lot of the Disney stuff, and I don't like the themes they do for the Disney stuff is I tend to like their themed products better than some of the stuff that I see inside like the mall. Because, like, I remember, like, when Game of Thrones was ending, they had, like, a Game of Thrones palette. But not ColourPop, but, like, one of the mall
Urban
brands.
Decay had it, and it was $66, and we talked about it.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful, because, like, you did this packaging, and, like, the throne popped up, and all this other shit. But at the end of the day, I remember very clearly this conversation. You were like, that's really cool, but I would have to have an entire separate palette of neutrals to wear it. And I travel a lot, and this packaging is beautiful, but it is ridiculous to take anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I can't take this to Colombia. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. No. ColourPop's packaging is hella travel friendly.
It's hella travel friendly, and it's still cute. So, okay, I just pulled up their website. Right now they have Lizzie McGuire, Bambi, Mulan, Frozen 2, Disney Villains, which I have a couple things from the Disney Villain collections, and I don't even know if they're restocking that anymore, and it's just what they have left. Yeah, it's just the shadow palette, but the shadow palette is like 15 shades for $24.
Yeah.
That purple lip gloss I have that you love is from the Disney Villains collection with ColourPop.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And they did, I think you have the Mandalorian palette, which was really cute.
Super pretty. Yeah, that's the one I have. I like that one.
Yeah. I keep trying to not look at their Bambi set because I want half of it. Like, yeah. And I think their palettes are really well put together because with most of them, you have the option to do something really light and sweet and fresh, or you can do something pretty dark. I would say some of them definitely skew towards dark more than they skew towards light. So like me, when I put on makeup, my options are highlighter on my lid and winged eyeliner, or just winged eyeliner, or no matter what I try to do, boom, it's a smoky eye. It's very, I've done them so much that my face looks weird to me without them is the problem. And so even if you get like a pretty light neutral toned palette from them, there's going to be something you can darken it up with, which I really appreciate.
Their shadows blend really well, which I think is like a really good point to make, because there's a couple other brands that I've purchased recently, and their colors are really, like, the product is really good and the colors are very on point, but they don't, there's like no fallout, but they're harder to blend. So I think that like somebody new to using makeup, I think would do really good with ColourPop. But some of the other brands, if they're harder to blend, it's harder to play with like the really bold colors that are like, if you apply these wrong, you're not going to have smoky eye. You're going to look like you got punched in the face.
Yeah. There is a difference between smoky eye and trash panda eye. And if you want trash panda eye, no shade. I am also a Gerard Way fan. But and ColourPop is also cool because in the few years that I've been following them, like if you have one color that is like, this is my thing, this is my shade, this is my tone. Like right now they have these hue palette specials out, but they even did it like with the Baroque collection, which is one of my favorites. It's sitting here next to me. Is this the one you want, by the way, this one that I have?
No, I looked at that one. I have Ornate, which I think is in the same collection.
Yeah, it's the same collection. Okay, you have the warmer one.
Yeah, no, the one I really want is the one that's all blacks and silvers.
Oh, the smoky eye one. Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, like if you're just like, this is my thing, this is my jam, you can stay within whatever you're comfortable with and still have new pretty eyeshadows.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really cool.
Yeah.
Another one that we both like that's more indie than this is Chaos Makeup out of Texas. They do these really amazing highlighters and like shift change eyeshadows, and they're so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have bought one was gifted when I bought Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild highlight palette, which is the one with like shades of purple and blue and pale pink. Mm-hmm. I will not buy it again because Chaos Makeup is better than ABH highlighters. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Chaos, like, that's their thing. They do the shiny highlighters and then the multichrome. And, like, the thing about the multichrome, I'm going to say just general makeup, because, like, you could use it on your lips, as like, on the side of your face. Like, I've seen, like, because they do, like, the really high art, or how is it called, high art? The model style, where they're
high
all,
fashion?
like,
is
high
that what
fashion.
you're looking for?
Yes. Yeah. So they do all the high fashion modeling, and it's, like, they've got, like, this big streak of multichrome glitter on their forehead, and I'm like, that looks sexy. But if I wore it, I'd look like an idiot. But it's good times.
It is. And what they do everything from, like, really light, ethereal stuff to very dark, punch-you-in-the-face jewel tones, too. Just if you're thinking about trying them, totally do.
Yeah, I want to try one of their highlighters, because I have one of the dark punch-you-in-the-face ones. I've got Magma, which is, like, red, brown, copper.
The other thing Chaos has is their larger sizes have these pink clamshells, which are very cool.
Oh, yeah.
And everything pops out and can be put into a Z palette, which I am not buying a second Z palette, or that's what I keep telling myself. But I also told myself that I would never buy a first Z palette because I wouldn't fill it up. And now I can't get anything else because I don't have any more room in my Z palette.
So who makes the Z palettes? Why have I not, like...
Z Palette is a brand.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like zpalette.com.
Oh, it's its own thing.
Yep, and it comes with a bunch of little stickers. It's basically a big magnet in a box with a clear lid, and your pans are metal, and so they stick. But they come with sticky magnet backs in case you have... Oh. And it's got a magnetic close, too, which I like. Because I will say this, not all of ColourPop's palettes stay closed.
No.
Even the ones with the magnets, sometimes it's like, iffy. But they have the magnets are strong. And, what do I have in mind? I've got 15 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, a contour, and a highlight in mine. And that's like the standard Z palette size, and that's all that's going to fit.
Yeah. That's time to buy another one.
Oh, knows, maybe. In theory, if I had planned this out better, I could just throw this in my travel bag and go and have all of my powders with me for the week. But this is all my neutrals and darks and blending shadows since I have renounced Urban Decay.
Yes.
They are dead to me. But it is where I keep most of my blushes and my only contour pan, which is from Makeup Geek, because I love Makeup Geek. Half these shadows are Makeup Geek, too. Half of them are Makeup Geek, and the other half are, I believe, ColourPop. Yep. One ABH, which is a little fallouty. But that's an ABH thing. They are very silky and very pretty, but they fall out. So yeah, Chaos Makeup is really good. I will be purchasing their highlighters probably almost exclusively from now on.
Yeah.
And they're also really good for just like if you're doing just a big wing to just dip your finger in and pop it onto the middle of your eye or just pop it in the inner corners.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't use a bunch of primer or anything with it, it still can be a very subtle just catch the light thing, which
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy. Like you don't have to do, what am I trying to say? They're very pretty and very shimmery and very sparkly and multi-chrome, but they're easy to use. Like don't
Yeah.
be super intimidated because there's some shit out there. And I say this as someone who loves makeup and wears a lot of makeup that people are like, how do you do that? And it's like, well, you paint the same face for 2.5 decades and you know how to paint your face as long as it's smoky eye. And yeah, there's totally stuff out there that even I'm like, that's gonna be a no for me. I don't know if I could handle that. But these, you can go with a light hand or you can go really hard with them, and I appreciate that. It builds really, really well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is very true.
And it will take a while to get to you because it's like it's a super independent business where they hand press everything and hand mix everything out in
Mm-hmm.
Texas. So yeah, like they have a notice. Due to products being handmade, we suggest that the product is handled with care since it's fragile. And their packaging is amazing. It's so cool.
The what, Chaos is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I the one I have is so small. It's the little I didn't get the cool clamshell.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
two that were, yeah, I'll have to show you the packaging. I have it in my bathroom. It's like a shiny thing with a unicorn. That's very descriptive.
Oh. But it's caught my attention, so because you said shiny and unicorn, and apparently that's all I need. So
I did.
speaking of shiny though, I was kind of like I looked at this other company called JD Glow Cosmetics, and they do a lot of the body shimmers. And I was really tempted to get one of their body shimmers, and then I remembered that I'm not going out on the town as much as I used to a couple years ago. Thank you, pandemic. So I went ahead and just got one of their eyeliners, and it's super, super sparkly, and it's red, and it's beautiful. And honestly, like I think it's such a brilliant, shiny, sparkly color that I could do one of the little one line of eyeliner, some mascara, and then I could just like go grocery shopping and show off my shiny eyeliner.
Nice. I love
Yeah.
those things. Those things are nice.
Yeah. So good times.
Will you be getting more stuff from them, you think?
If I need body shimmer. No, I think I do want to try some of their other eyeliners. I think they had some other. Now I need to look, but I think they had some lipsticks. But I don't know. I mean, you know me and lipstick. I kind of have. Lipstick is kind of a newer thing to me. Almost 4 years. That's when I started wearing lipstick. Was for my wedding. I'm trying to find. Like, I know what my daily wear eyeshadow is. I know what my evening wear eyeshadow is. But I don't know my daily wear lipstick. I'm starting to learn. And there's actually a company, another indie company called Real Her that I just tried. And I tried one of their neutral kind of lip colors, and I love it. I think it's the one that's going to be my daily wear. I love it. They're a cool company because they are kind of like their name suggests, they're very into empowering women. And so all of their eyeshadows, all of their lip colors are named with something like super like encouraging and enthusiastic and go you. Like I got their like warm browns. And it's like fabulous, fun, unique, courageous. Like these are the names of their shadows. So that it kind of gives you that pickup when you're putting your makeup on. That is what's replaced my Urban Decay. So, because I needed like the warm browns for like the daily wear. So I'm happy with it. That was also one of the ones though, that was harder to blend. So word to the right, wise. Super cool company, super solid quality. It's just a little harder to blend.
One thing I have found with eyeshadows from independent companies, especially if you're dealing with anything that's loose, their loose powders are designed to go with their eyeshadow base. So my daily lip wear is now by a company called Concrete Minerals. They have these vegan lip tints. They're minty and they're slightly tingly, but they're not like Jessica Simpson's cinnamon lip plumper circa 2001 tingly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. No, they're just like refreshing. And it's basically like an elongated tube of chapstick. It goes on and feels like chapstick, but it's tinted, and they're not in, like, you can get Burt Bee's tinted lipstick and you're getting a shade of pink or red. That's all you're gonna get. But these come in like wine colors and orange pinks and bright reds, and there's a black one which I've ordered twice called Fetish. And they're sheer because they're lip tints, they're lip balms. But if you want to do like so much eye and have a purple tinted lip, you can, and it's super comfortable. Or if you just want to do like a winged eyeliner and a black lip, but black lipstick is not comfortable most of the time, it works really well. But the first thing I ordered from Concrete Minerals was a loose eyeshadow pigment called Bitches Brew. And it's this really pretty lavender with like this gold sparkle and shift. And every time I put it on, I hated it because I never got, with any of my primers, I never got any color payoff. It never looked nice. It never stayed on. After a little while, I had fallout into my eyelashes. But I really liked the lip tint I got that time. So I ordered from them again. And I ordered a darker purple from the same set that Bitches Brew is in. And I ordered one of their multi-chrome eyeshadows because Lee knows this. I've been in the search for the perfect Slytherin green eyeshadow for most of my adulthood.
Yes.
Not even necessarily because Slytherin, but just because if you have brown eyes, I don't care what color your skin is. If your eyes are brown, like real brown, not like hazel, like brown, green eyeshadow is hella pretty. And so I ordered this multi-chrome shift, and they have this thing called Obsidian Eye Primer, and it's $14. And they have one called Electric as well that's a skin tone, but it's black, and it's this little pot of slightly thick black stuff, and you rub it on your eyelid. Directions: apply a small amount to clean eyelids using fingertips. Blend until eyelids feel silky rather than oily. And I was like, by the time I blended it in, it was light gray on my eyelids, and I'm like, this is not gonna do jack shit. It works perfectly. The eyeshadows are like, rub it on and then just go tap, tap, tap with your brush or your finger, and your eyeshadow is so pretty. It works so well. I'm gonna definitely be ordering more of everything from Concrete Minerals. I have ordered the vegan lip tints and sent them to friends because I have a friend who is goth light, and she's like, I've never been brave enough to wear black lipstick though, and I'm in my 30s. And I'm like, boo, I got you. And then like a few weeks later, she got a little package from Concrete Mineral. But like Tater Rounds Beauty is a brand that's on Etsy, and she does everything handmade. And I don't love liquid lipsticks, but I like hers because they don't make your lips super unhappy. Are they the longest wearing ones in the universe? No, probably not. But can you forget you're wearing them while you're wearing them? Yes. So I'm for it. And she's got a really good color selection. Like I had the black one, and then you got me one. Was it Christmas or my birthday? I don't know, it was something. Might have been both.
It was in the big like everything package.
Yeah, my birthday, anniversary, and Christmas are all within like 6 weeks, so I just get a box of things, and I'm down with it. So there's the green one, which is really, really pretty. And then this other one is the color of basically dark wine. I was going to say blood, but it's not orange enough to be blood. But it is called sanguine, which means happy or bloody. Bastet is the black shade. They don't smell weird. They don't smell like anything, which is great. Some lipstick has a lipstick smell. We all remember what grandma's lipstick smelled like.
No, we do.
Fine. But I like lipsticks that either smell slightly minty or like nothing. The vegan lip tints smell slightly minty, and I'm okay with that because I have eternal coffee breath. Or, these mattes smell like nothing.
Yeah.
And I love it, and they work really well. I haven't tried everything from Tater Rounds Beauty, but their eyeshadows are another one. I ordered some, wasn't super thrilled. Did another order and just threw in the trial size of their eye primer. Made an insane difference. So I would say if you are doing Like, if mainstream makeup, like Urban Decay Potion Primer can be used with so much stuff, Clinique's eye primer can be used. Like, most mainstream primers are interchangeable. I'm
Mm-hmm.
finding they're really not with indie makeup.
That's good to note, because I wouldn't have even thought about that.
Yeah.
But
Well, and I mean, I think so many times we just, especially if you're newer to makeup, you just order the pretty stuff and you think you'll figure it out and you don't realize until you've done your makeup for a while or you've bought a lot of makeup or you bought the same makeup several times. Your brushes, your primers,
mm-hmm.
these are the things that cost a lot of money because the overall difference in an eyeshadow that's done with an eye primer and two different or three different brushes to achieve the proper effect in blending versus one that's done without, with like one of those little doe foots, is just night and day. You literally can't do the same thing. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, and a lot of people don't even really know about primer. I mean, it was only like 5 or 6 years ago that I started using primer.
When I was in high school, we just put our stick concealer on our eyelids and went with it. Like, and then was it NYX got really famous for their milk pencil because people started using it as a primer base for the really bright shadows.
Just a couple other like quick mentions. I did get it's funny because based on their website and the packaging that it came in, I'm like, are these people the same company? And I didn't it doesn't look like they are, but they might be connected somehow. But there's another company called Carity that I really like, and I got their, I think it's called like Seaside or some shit, I don't know. But it's like a bunch of blues and greens, but then it also has like some of the lighter beiges, and then it's got a random like purpley brown thrown in. And I'm pretty happy with it. So it's cool. I feel like a mermaid when I wear it. So yeah.
That's always cool.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you wake up, put on makeup, and feel like a mermaid, it's a win.
Yeah.
So for the one day that I eventually go back to music festivals, hopefully maybe this year, depending on how things go, we'll see. But if I ever get to go out to a music festival again, I have this, and I've played with this at home, just for fun, but Victoria sent me in the mail it's called City of Lights, Pastel Lights, and it's by Rude, and it's all these really bright fucking colors, like bright greens and purples and oranges, and it's pretty amazing. They blend pretty well, and yes, I've worn it to the grocery store. Because if I'm not going to be able to go to a music festival, I still should not waste the palette. It's just, I'm going to...
True.
Yeah. Yep.
True.
Nobody's surprised when I show up with festival makeup, even if it's to, like, breakfast. Nope.
No.
No.
And you get compliments on it, so, like, no reason not to.
It's a win.
The last company I'm going to mention is one that I did not expect much from, and they really surprised me. Silk Naturals. It's just silknaturals.com. You can tell by their packaging that everything is handmade. They are not the fanciest packaging. They are not ColourPop packaging. But their stuff, no, I can say shit. Their shit's really good. They do some face care stuff. So I got something called Liquid Gold Face Oil, and I actually used it for a few days when I got it. And I was pulling this out to do the recording tonight, and I was like, my face has been so unhappy. Why the hell did I not pull this out and use it? They are incredibly reasonably priced. Same thing, you need to get their eye primer to go with their palettes, but they also sell pressing kits if you want to get the pigments and press them. They have... Okay, so I am pale, and I have bad habits when it comes to sleep. So I have very serious dark circles. They're not as bad as they were a few years ago, but they're there. They have this under eye salmon concealer that's similar to Eve Pearl, and it's like $6, and it's
nice.
Amazing. It is so freaking good. So good. And they have cream foundation, and I think it comes in sticks. Yes, I used it today. It comes in sticks. And it is the best stick foundation I have ever used.
Nice.
Ever. I don't use it from the tube directly on my face. I swirl my brush on it and then I put it on my face, and you can get lighter coverage that way, but if you want to build it up, you totally can. They have a lot of really cool stuff. They have an intro powder foundation sample, and they're foundation kits. Basically, you pick your shade tone and they send you the powders and very clear instructions on how to mix it yourself so that you can figure it out and make it fit your skin exactly, which is amazing. And they have lip stains. I like their lip stains. I did a big order and they sent me so much stuff when I told them we were just looking to review indie makeup that she wanted me to try some of everything. That I haven't even gotten to all of it yet, but like they have matte lipstick that isn't terribly uncomfortable. It's not long-lasting liquid lipstick, but it's comfortable and it doesn't smell weird. They have, if you really like Urban Decay, they have eyeshadow kits. Like you can go to their eyeshadow kits that are set to match Urban Decay Naked 2 and other essential things. Every week they include a free product if you do an order over $10, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
But yeah, they are vegan and gluten-free, so they're totally safe. And like I said, you can tell that they are not homemade, but like small business, small batch handmade. And they do skincare. Like the rose gold oil isn't all of it. They have antioxidants, they have cleansing oils and BHA toners and peptide eye creams and cuticle balms. Like they're really comprehensive and they're really good products and I really like them. And I have no idea how I haven't heard more about them online because their stuff is good.
Wow.
For real. And they have a sample of darn near anything you want. So if you just go to samples, you can try so much of their stuff for $5 or less. Most of them are around 99 cents, which is amazing.
Yeah.
What started this conversation about indie makeup and us deciding to do a whole episode about it was 4 years. We had a day where we went shopping 1 day a year. And we just told our husbands, we're going shopping. You take the children. I believe our first year was when my kid wasn't one yet. So 7 years.
Yeah.
And what I would do when my husband and I had no money, because I've talked about this, is I would save all of our grocery rewards. Like you can get rewards at Join Honey. There are apps you could use that used to be a lot better than they are now. And I would cash in all of my grocery points for a year on Sephora gift cards. And then we'd go to the Cheesecake Factory or some other really good place and have brunch lunch. And we had this conversation this year that we were like, we are makeup consumers. Like we buy foundation because we run out of it, not because it goes nasty. Maybe we should look into supporting smaller businesses instead of just giving all of our money to the conglomerate of huge makeup labs. So face stuff, Silk Naturals, colors from ColourPop and Concrete Minerals and Makeup Geek, highlighters from Chaos Makeup. We pretty much have our full faces covered. I am still looking for a good indie mascara. My standard is, my favorite mascaras are Kush by Milk Mascara, Something in a Gold Container by Too Faced, and Voluminous by L'Oreal. If you use those and you have an indie mascara recommendation that goes with those, please, please, please let me know. But I would say we're both doing a really good job, and we're not even halfway through 2020 yet when we're recording this, or halfway through 2021. We got all the way through 2020 of being able to do our whole faces in small brand independent makeup, and I'm really proud of us.
Yay! We're awesome.
So if you have any brands you want to recommend, if you're like, girl, I got you, you need to try this mascara, we are everywhere on social media at Paper and Vices. You can email us at victoria@paperandvices.com or lee@paperandvices.com. If you message us on Facebook or Insta or Twitter, we'll get to it. It might take us a day or two, but we check multiple times a week. Or if you just want to say, hey, we're good for that too. We do have a Patreon if you want stickers or pins or just to support the show, because even when your wine is on sale for $12, it's not free.
In the meantime, don't be an asshole, smoke a joint, and take care of yourself.
This has been a production of Paper and Vices, copyright 2021. This episode is presented for entertainment purposes only, and any vice should be pursued only within the legal boundaries, common sense, and personal responsibility of each person. Please check your local laws. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individual hosts and guests only and do not in any way represent the views of Paper and Vices LLC or any named persons, nor should they be considered personal, medical, or legal advice. Previous episodes and other commentary can be found at paperandvices.com.